Mom and Johnny moving things out. Me and Zoe just hanging out over here. They're my little mom chunklets. So I've been able to get Zoe to pee, I think a total of 3 or 4 times today, which was really good. And she actually pooped. I know this might be TMI, but she hasn't pooped since coming home. And she finally pooped and I'm so happy. I'm so happy she pooped. And yeah, she's just walking around. She's watching them move things, but she's just roaming all over the house and she's doing so good. She's so amazing. I'm so excited to get her wheelchair though. I think they're closed today, so we're gonna get her fitted tomorrow. We're gonna call them tomorrow and see if we can come in for a fitting for a wheelchair. And then tomorrow we also have another appointment, kind of like a follow-up. And what else? That's kind of it. I've got a lot of work I need to do, but it's so difficult because I'm afraid to take my eyes off of her right now because this is such a new thing. I feel like once we get into a routine it'll be a little easier, but this is so new and I have no idea what to expect. So I'm like, my eyes are just like glued on her this entire time. Johnny and my mom have been working on the bedroom. Come on, baby girl. Let's go to our bedroom. And Brooklyn. This is our home. Well, we're gonna bring our own stuff, but for right now, tonight, this is where we're sleeping instead of on the floor in the living room. So at least it's cleared out now. We can kind of have this space already so that my mom's dogs can come back inside and Zoe and I can stay in here.
Come here. Come here, baby. Zozo.
She's gone. She's gone. So my vlog is still uploading. Zoe's here laying on the bed. She didn't want to lay in her bed. She really wanted to be up here with me, so I just picked her up. But hopefully this bed makes a lot of sounds like I'm farting or something. But hi, baby. You okay? Go ahead. Get comfortable. You're okay. You're okay. So for today's vlog, I wanted to update you guys with any questions you had about Zoe and kind of update you guys on how she is and everything. I've been getting a lot of questions and I've been trying my best to stay updated with social media, but my phone is like blowing up like crazy, so it's hard to stay on top of everything while giving Zoe 100% of my attention. So it's a little tricky there, but she's resting. So I thought I would chat with you guys and see what kind of questions you guys have about Zoe, because I know you guys have a lot. So let's head over to Twitter. A lot of people are asking, do they know who took Zoe? And unfortunately we don't. We were never able to find, and the police were never able to find who broke into the house on Halloween weekend. So that really sucks. And then, so we don't know who took Zoe, who did this to Zoe, we don't know. And same goes for Coco, we don't know anything. Also, a lot of people keep asking if Zoe will ever be able to walk again and if she's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. And as of right now, the answer is no, Zoe will not be able to walk, and yes, Zoe will be in a wheelchair. Most likely the rest of her life. But I say that's because that's what the doctors tell us. But this girl, you guys know, this girl is so strong, and I already see her trying so hard to lift herself up on her back end. Like I can see it. She's trying so hard. So I truly believe that with some therapy, physical therapy, I think she may be able to walk again. But of course I can't get my hopes up, and of course the doctors had already explained how this may be Zoe's condition for the rest of her life. She may never be able to walk again. And as far as the wheelchair goes, I'm still doing a lot of research, but it looks like the wheelchair is only used if like you're going out for a walk or taking her to play, things like that. Around the house, it's totally fine for her to just kind of drag herself, and there are these things like a drag bag where you can kind of, I don't know, just think of it like a sleeping bag on her body. So as she's dragging, she's not like cutting up her legs or getting rug burn if it's carpet, or getting it dirty, things like that. So there's a drag bag that we can put on her. Of course, we have to wait until all these bandages are off. She can't feel any of this. She can't feel this, poor baby. Did I tell you guys today? I don't know if I told you. I don't think I told you guys. When we went to the vet this morning, they had to take her temperature, you know, through her butthole. So when they put that thing in her butthole, she actually clenched, which means she has some feeling. It may not be a lot, but she clenched, and that was like pretty much the best news I heard all day. Well, actually there's been a lot of good things today. She clenched her butt. She actually pooped today, and Johnny and I have both been able to express her bladder today, which is so challenging and tricky. And every time we actually like do it and she's peeing, I almost want to cry every single time because it's such a challenge, and I want to be able to help her and find where her bladder is to squeeze it out for her. It's really tough, but Johnny and I were both able to do it today, and I was so happy. So a lot of good things are happening today. Another question a lot of you guys have is, what happened? Was it a car accident? Did somebody hit her and abuse her? Did she get in a fight with another animal? I asked them, and I was like, can you give me any information on what her injuries kind of look like? They really can't tell me. They don't know. They said it could be anything, and just based off of what I see, because truthfully her body is really clean, other than like these are just from ticks and stuff, but as far as cuts and scrapes and things like that, her body's really good. The only scrape she has is from dragging her body, and that's it. So I don't believe it's a car accident, because I think her bones would have been a lot more crushed, or her skin would have been ripped in certain areas. Why does Bergie always FaceTime me like every 10 seconds? I feel like her skin, there would have been more gashes if, and I mean, I'm not an expert, this is just what I feel. I don't think it was that, or a train, because again, I think there'd be more cuts and bruises. Some people kind of brought up the idea maybe someone threw her in the canyon, which is a possibility, and maybe she landed exactly on her back and that's how it broke. I don't know. Johnny and I kind of have this unfortunate feeling that someone hit her, but even my dad thinks it was a man-made injury, which makes me really sad. Do you think that now you found Zoey, Coco won't be too far away? I feel like finding Zoey just gave us so, like, we never lost hope, but finding Zoey really just gave us even more hope that we are closer to reuniting our entire family, huh, baby? We are actually gonna go back down to those canyons. We don't have like a huge search and rescue planned right now, because the reason we did this search and rescue and we try to get as many people as we can is because we had a kind of general idea of where Zoey could be. So it was kind of like narrowed down, you know what I mean? Right now we have no leads on Coco, which is so terrible, but we are going to go to those canyons, just us and like all of our friends, and just kind of search for any kind of clues, tracks, anything like that. But she wasn't caught on any of the wildlife cameras out there, so I don't know at this point, but we are going to search that canyon and search that area, because if Zoey was there, maybe Coco wasn't too far away. What does Zoey's future look like? Medical, surgery, wheels, etc. So right now, I don't 100% know. We're kind of, basically, when I went to the vet to pick her up, I was overwhelmed with so much information that I just could not contain, because it was just so much. So basically they told me right now, just focus on keeping these bandages dry and clean and keeping them hiked up so that we can heal those open wounds. That's really all I'm focusing on right now, is healing those open wounds, and then getting her fitted for a wheelchair, because she will need a wheelchair. And then in about a week or two, we have an appointment with the neurologist, and then I think they're gonna break it down more of like what they recommend. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do or what they're gonna say at that appointment, but I think they're gonna tell us like what kind of therapy they recommend for Zoey, or what the next step is. So the hospital we went to is super helpful and sweet, so they're really gonna walk us through this entire journey. So right now, step one, all I'm worried about is healing these open wounds, and this is not a cast, by the way, these are just bandages. So healing these open wounds and getting her fitted for a wheelchair. So that's what her future as of right now looks like. And the last thing I wanted to kind of touch base on, because I was seeing comments like this a lot on YouTube and Instagram about the video that Jack had posted. He's the man that had the wildlife cameras. They were like, I think they saw the video and kind of saw it the wrong way. I think people assumed that someone was there just kind of watching and like letting her be this injured, letting her like live her life out in the canyons like that, which is totally not the case. So you guys know Zoey was missing for a total of 7 weeks, but 3 weeks ago, Jack, the guy who has the wildlife cameras, he's had those cameras out there for years. He records like coyotes and raccoons and things like that. And 3 weeks ago, he saw Zoey come up on his camera, and he saw like, oh wow, this dog is really badly injured, and he thought she was just a stray. So he just put out some food for her in this little box to try to give her shelter. And he goes out there, or from what I heard, he would go out there 2 to 3 times a day and fill up the food for her and kind of check on her, and he would whistle for her and she wouldn't show up at all. Like, she was completely hidden when he was present. And then when he'd leave, he'd see on the wildlife camera that she's back. And there was one time he did see her from a distance in person, and the moment she caught eyes on him, she just sprinted, and he said she was really fast and he would not have been able to catch her. So he was just trying to feed her and basically take care of her the best of his ability for those weeks. And he thought she was just a stray dog, and he didn't know she was a missing dog. And he was talking about it with his friends and things like that. And this is such a miracle right here. Someone he had mentioned this to, they, I think, recognized the dog from my news interview on ABC 10 News. And then like they were trying to find me. I don't know exactly how it happened, but it's such a miracle. Like, he brought it up, and one person happened to see my news story, and one person like saw a missing lost dog ad, and like they were trying to find me and connect with me, and finally they connected with me. And that's when I immediately went out there, and they were so helpful. Everyone, Jack, so helpful once they realized that, okay, this dog does have an owner, we really need to catch it. But they had been trying to catch her even before they had contacted me, so they were already in the process of trying to get her. And then when they found me, they got even more excited. They're like, okay, we're really gonna get her because the owner's here now, and she's gonna maybe respond to me calling her name, which turns out she didn't. So that's why we did that big search and rescue, and we were able to get her, and it was just amazing. But seriously, such a miracle. I would have never known that Zoey was in that canyon if it weren't for Jack and his wildlife cameras. Like, and for one of his friends like seeing my story. Like, it's just words can't describe how grateful I am for that. So what a miracle. Seriously, what a miracle. So I think that's gonna be it for today's vlog, because we've just been trying to rest all day long. So my little baby's just gonna sleep. It's okay, it's okay. She kind of twitches in her sleep too, and I don't know if it's maybe like her just trying to breathe or her having a nightmare. I don't know, but the doctor's seen it too. She kind of just twitches a little bit while she sleeps. There's my little Zoe. She's tucked in for the night, and we're gonna go to bed, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Oh, bye.